On January 1st, 1959, Fidel Castro took control of Cuba. The world watched as his rise to power created fear and uncertainty across the island. In the months that followed, thousands of Cubans risked everything to escape. While many nations hesitated, one American city in Florida stepped forward with open arms. It became the landing point for countless Cuban refugees, especially during the historic Freedom Flights, a massive U.S. airlift operation that brought over 250,000 people to safety. In the heart of the city, a building named the Tower of Freedom turned into a lifeline. Here, families were given food, shelter, and a new beginning. This incredible story still lives on today, hidden in plain sight. In today's video, we'll reveal the powerful acts of humanity that helped to shape Florida, one of America's most fascinating states. Stories that prove that even in times of great darkness, the light of freedom never fades. But first, a little question to entertain you. In which Florida city stands the Tower of Freedom? A. Tampa. B. Miami. C. Orlando. D. Jacksonville. Share your guess in the comments and stay tuned. The answer will be revealed at the end of the video. Number 10. Sunshine Skyway. The Sunshine Skyway Bridge is one of Florida's most breathtaking and important structures. It stretches across Tampa Bay, connecting St. Petersburg in Pinellas County to Terrachea in Manatee County. But this is more than just a road. It's a symbol of tragedy, engineering brilliance, and Florida's unshakable spirit. The first version of the bridge opened in the 1950s. For decades, it served as a vital link across the bay. But everything changed on May 9, 1980. During a violent thunderstorm, a massive cargo ship named the MV Summit Venture struck one of the bridge's support columns. In an instant, a large section of the roadway collapsed into the water. 35 people lost their lives, passengers in cars, and a Greyhound bus that plunged into the bay below. The disaster shocked Florida and made headlines across the country. But the local response showed the true heart of Floridians. Rescue teams, divers, and volunteers risked their lives to help. In the days that followed, the people of Florida came together to mourn, to support each other, and to plan a safer future. That future arrived just 7 years later. On April 20th, 1987, the new Bob Graham Sunshine Skyway Bridge was officially opened. This version was a marvel of modern engineering. It features a cable-stayed design with bright yellow cables rising in perfect symmetry. The main span measures 1,200 feet, and the bridge stretches a total of 4.14 miles. It reaches a height of 430 feet, with a clearance of 181 feet for ships passing below. Engineers designed the new bridge to withstand hurricane-force winds and protect against future ship collisions. It was built stronger, safer, and more beautiful than ever before. Today, the Sunshine Skyway Bridge is a vital part of Florida's transportation system. Over 65,000 vehicles cross it every day. It supports local commuters, cross-state traffic, and commercial transport across the Gulf Coast. The bridge is more than just steel and concrete. It's a driving force in the economy of Tampa Bay and the state overall. It's also a work of art. The Florida Department of Transportation frequently lights it up for special events and holidays, creating a glowing beacon across the water. Beneath the bridge, the old supports have been transformed into fishing piers, giving new life to a place once marked by loss. Floridians take immense pride in the Sunshine Skyway. It's a place where engineering meets emotion, a site of tragedy transformed into a symbol of hope. The bridge stands tall not only because of its design, but because of the strength and unity of the people who made it possible. Want to help us grow? Share our new video on X. Every share counts. Number 9. Never Forgotten. The Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex, located on Florida's Merritt Island, is far more than a museum. It's a working spaceport, a hub of discovery, and a powerful tribute to the bravery and brilliance of those who dared to leave Earth behind. Open to the public in 1967, it has become one of the most iconic destinations in the United States, where history is preserved and the future is constantly being shaped. Visitors to the complex can see rockets that once soared into the sky, walk beneath the massive Saturn V from the Apollo era, and come face to face with the real Space Shuttle Atlantis. Through immersive exhibits and hands-on experiences, the center brings the incredible story of American spaceflight to life, and nowhere is that story told with more heart than in Florida. This state has watched more launches than any other, and Floridians have stood together, cheering the triumphs and mourning the losses. One of the darkest moments came on January 28, 1986, when Space Shuttle Challenger lifted off from Launch Complex 39B. It was supposed to be a moment of pride. The crew of 7 included engineers, pilots, and for the first time, a schoolteacher, Krista McAuliffe, who had been chosen to inspire students across the nation. Children watched live broadcasts in classrooms. Families stood on nearby beaches to witness the launch in person. But just 73 seconds into flight, Challenger broke apart in the sky. The crew had no chance of survival. Debris rained down into the Atlantic Ocean. What was meant to be a national celebration became one of NASA's greatest tragedies. The emotional impact was immediate and overwhelming. And for Florida, it was devastating. This wasn't just a distant event, it happened in their sky, on their soil, in front of their eyes. Yet in true Florida spirit, the response wasn't to turn away. It was to remember, to honor, and to teach future generations about courage and sacrifice. Inside the visitor complex, tucked beyond the main attractions, is a deeply moving exhibit called Forever Remembered. Opened in 2015, this memorial was created to pay tribute to the Challenger crew, as well as those lost in the Columbia disaster years later. The space is quiet, respectful, and profoundly human. You'll see personal belongings from each astronaut, letters, clothing, mementos, and even parts of the shuttle itself carefully preserved and displayed. The Kennedy Space Center continues to evolve. New rockets launch, private space companies expand, and visitors still come in awe. But among the high-tech wonders and roaring engines, the Forever Remembered Memorial remains one of the most powerful experiences. It teaches us that the path to the stars is not without cost, but it is always worth it. Before we dive deeper into this explosive story, please take a moment to hit that like button. It's a small action, but it helps YouTube's algorithm promote our videos to a wider audience. Number 8. Castillo de San Marcos. In sunny St. Augustine, Florida, there's a place where you don't just look at history, you walk inside it. The Castillo de San Marcos is the oldest masonry fort in the continental United States. But more importantly, it's one of Florida's most impressive and unforgettable attractions. From the outside, the fort looks like a stone fortress out of a pirate movie, thick walls, cannons, and open views of the ocean. Step inside, and you'll find winding corridors, guard towers, and real cells that once held prisoners. Everything here is built to last, and remarkably, it has. The Castillo has stood strong for more than 340 years. Construction began in 1672, during a time when pirates were raiding Florida's coast and attacking Spanish settlements. To protect St. Augustine from constant threats, the Spanish built the Castillo de San Marcos, a fort that couldn't burn or break like the wooden ones before it. It was finished in 1695 using coquina, a local stone made of compressed seashells. When cannonballs hit, the walls didn't shatter, they absorbed the impact. That's why the Castillo is still standing after more than 3 centuries. Today, the Castillo is operated by the National Park Service and welcomes hundreds of thousands of visitors every year. Inside, you'll find original features like barracks, guard rooms, cannon platforms, and even prisoner cells carved directly into the stone. The fort's chapel is still intact, offering a rare look at religious life inside a military post. Visitors can explore the upper gun deck, where historic cannons line the walls and point out toward Matanzas Bay. Many of these are original, and others are authentic replicas. On weekends and holidays, live demonstrations show how cannons were fired in battle, complete with uniforms and black powder smoke. There's also a small museum inside the fort that displays recovered artifacts, musket balls, colonial tools, pieces of uniforms, and ship fragments. Informational panels throughout the rooms explain how the fort changed hands over time, from Spanish to British, then American control. For families, there's even a junior ranger program, and guided tours are offered daily. The entire site is well maintained, with paved walkways, ramps for accessibility, and scenic overlooks. The outer walls and moat are open for walking, and many visitors enjoy watching boats pass by or capturing the view at sunset. The state of Florida and the National Park Service have worked hard to preserve this national treasure, and Floridians take pride in the fact that this is not just a monument, it's a place where history lives on in real time, in the heart of the oldest city in America. Have you ever walked through the Castillo de San Marcos? Did you catch a cannon demo, explore the barracks, or just enjoy the bay view from the walls? Tell us in the comments. We'd love to hear what you discovered inside one of Florida's most iconic landmarks. Number 7. Pon DeLeon. We often hear the phrase, "Make America Great Again." But what time are we really thinking of when we say again? For some, it's the Gilded Age, an era of elegance, bold vision, and breathtaking architecture. And few buildings capture that spirit like the Pon DeLeon Hotel in St. Augustine, Florida. Its red-tiled roofs, carved stone, and massive towers tell the story of a time when luxury meant something truly extraordinary. This is the former Pon DeLeon Hotel, now home to Flagler College, and it's one of Florida's most breathtaking architectural treasures. The hotel was the dream of Henry Flagler, a railroad tycoon and one of the co-founders of Standard Oil. In the late 1800s, Flagler saw Florida not as swampland, but as the next great American destination. And he wasn't just thinking small resorts, he wanted to bring the elite to Florida in unmatched style. So in 1888, he opened the Pon DeLeon Hotel, a place so opulent it stunned guests the moment they arrived. Flagler spared no expense. The hotel was one of the first buildings in the US constructed entirely of poured concrete, reinforced with coquina shell. It was also among the first buildings in the world wired with electricity, thanks to Flagler's friend Thomas Edison. Inside, the ceilings were hand-painted, the chandeliers glowed with Edison's lights, and the grand rotunda and dining hall were masterpieces of Gilded Age design. This wasn't just a hotel, it was a cultural magnet. There are rumors that a few presidents stayed here. Celebrities, aristocrats, and artists vacationed under its towering ceilings. For the wealthy of the late 19th and early 20th centuries, spending a winter in St. Augustine at the Pon DeLeon Hotel was the height of luxury. But times changed. As travel patterns shifted and Florida developed, the hotel saw fewer elite guests. After World War II, the Grand Resort era came to an end. Rather than let the building fade into history, Floridians found a way to give it new life. In 1968, the building was transformed into Flagler College, named in honor of the man who built it. It became a school, but it kept its soul. Today, Flagler College is a respected private liberal arts school. Students attend classes inside one of the most historic buildings in the country. The Grand Dining Hall still dazzles visitors with stained glass windows designed by Louis Comfort Tiffany. The main lobby is crowned with murals painted over a century ago. Even the student dorms occupy rooms that once hosted America's elite travelers. Floridians take deep pride in this building. Instead of tearing it down or letting it decay, they preserved it and gave it purpose. Now it serves not only as a reminder of Florida's golden past, but also as a center for education and culture. The fusion of old-world beauty and modern learning makes it one of the most unique college campuses in the country. Have you ever visited Flagler College or seen the inside of the old Pon DeLeon Hotel? Would you like to stay in a hotel like that or study in a place with such history? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear what you think about this incredible piece of Florida's story. Number 6. Give kids the world. In the heart of Kissimmee, Florida, lies a place where dreams take flight. Give Kids the World Village. This 89-acre nonprofit resort offers week-long, cost-free vacations to children with critical illnesses and their families, providing them with joy, laughter, and cherished memories. The inspiration behind this magical haven traces back to the 1980s and a young girl named Amy who was battling leukemia. Amy's wish was to visit the theme parks in Central Florida. While hotelier Henry Landworth offered complimentary accommodations, delays in arranging the rest of her trip meant that Amy's wish remained unfulfilled. She passed away before experiencing the joy she longed for. Deeply moved, Henri vowed to ensure that no child's wish would ever be left incomplete again. A Holocaust survivor who endured years in Nazi concentration camps, Henri understood the value of childhood and the importance of hope. Channeling his experiences and compassion, he established Give Kids the World in 1986. By 1989, the village opened its doors, transforming from a dream into a vibrant reality. Since its inception, the village has welcomed over 200,000 families from all 50 states and 77 countries. Children between the ages of 3 and 18 diagnosed with critical illnesses are referred by over 250 partnering wish-granting organizations. When a child is granted a wish to visit Central Florida, the organization takes care of every detail. Give Kids the World provides accommodations, meals, transportation, and tickets to attractions like Walt Disney World, Universal Studios, and SeaWorld. The village itself is a whimsical wonderland. At the heart stands the Castle of Miracles, where each wish child receives a golden star, personalized and placed on the ceiling, creating a galaxy of dreams. Children can ride the enchanted carousel and enjoy sweet treats at the Ice Cream Palace, where ice cream is served all day. They can also visit Twinkle Hope's Lady Da Royal Spa, hop on JJ's Express train, or splash around in the Park of Dreams with its interactive water garden. Florida's community plays a pivotal role in this mission. Thousands of volunteers, affectionately known as angels, dedicate their time to ensure every family's experience is unforgettable. Local businesses and donors contribute resources, embodying the state's spirit of generosity and compassion. Give Kids the World Village stands as a testament to what compassion, dedication, and community can achieve. It's a place where for a week the burdens of illness are lifted, replaced by laughter, love, and lasting memories. Our team needs your help. Subscribe to our channel to help more people learn the truth about current events. And now we move on. Number 5. Naples Botanical Garden. Just a few miles from the coast of Naples, Florida, there's a place where wild nature and human vision come together with breathtaking harmony. It's called the Naples Botanical Garden, a living, growing reminder of what can happen when people come together to protect beauty, knowledge, and life. The story began in the early 1990s, when a small group of locals dreamed of building a world-class botanical garden in Naples. For years, it was just a vision, until Harvey Kapnick Jr., a retired businessman and philanthropist, stepped in. In the year 2000, he donated $5 million and purchased a vast 170-acre plot of land, determined to make that dream real. For Harvey, this wasn't just about plants, it was about giving back to Florida and creating something that would outlast him. He didn't live to see it completed. He passed away in 2002, but his family refused to let the dream fade. His son, Scott Kapnick, and daughter-in-law Kathleen took up the mission. They gave not just money, but time, energy, and heart. Scott joined the board. Kathleen helped shape the vision. And together, they led the transformation of a quiet patch of Naples into one of the most remarkable gardens in the country. The Naples Botanical Garden officially opened in 2009. It now welcomes more than 220,000 visitors a year and has become a centerpiece of the community. The garden showcases tropical ecosystems from across the globe. Guests can stroll through lush Brazilian courtyards with mosaic art and bold colors, explore shaded Asian paths lined with bamboo and lotus, and enjoy the sunlight of the Caribbean garden just steps away. The Florida Garden celebrates native palms, wildflowers, and orchids, plants that have thrived in this region for centuries. There's also a large children's garden, a butterfly house, a teaching pavilion, and even a research and education center built in partnership with Florida Gulf Coast University. The entire site runs on sustainable systems, solar-powered irrigation, rainwater collection, and native plant landscaping that supports pollinators and protects the local environment. None of this would have been possible without the kindness and persistence of one Florida family. The Kapnicks didn't just fund a garden, they planted a legacy, and Floridians embraced it. Today, more than 300 volunteers help the garden thrive, guiding visitors, leading tours, and sharing knowledge that will shape future generations. Have you walked through the Naples Botanical Garden? Did a certain garden section stay with you? The butterflies, the rainforest, or maybe just the story behind it all? Tell us in the comments. We'd love to hear what moved you most in this place built on vision, family, and Florida sunshine. Number 4. Bok Tower Gardens. In the heart of central Florida, far from the noise of cities and theme parks, there's a quiet hill where music floats on the breeze and time slows down. This is Bok Tower Gardens, a place where nature, art, and emotion blend into something unforgettable. It all began in the 1920s, when Edward Bok, a successful publisher and philanthropist, discovered Iron Mountain, one of the highest natural points in Florida. He envisioned a sanctuary, not just for plants and animals, but for people in need of peace. He commissioned landscape architect Frederick Law Olmsted Jr. to design the gardens, and architect Milton B. Medary to design a tower that would become the heart of it all. Today, that tower, known as the Singing Tower, still stands at the center of the gardens. Rising 205 feet into the sky, it's made of pink marble and coquina stone. Inside is a carillon, an instrument of 60 bells that play live music twice a day. Visitors sit on shaded benches and listen as melodies drift through the oak trees and over the water. The gardens cover more than 250 acres and feature a wide variety of habitats, including oak hammocks, longleaf pine forests, wet prairies, and flowering garden spaces. Over 100 bird species have been spotted here, and seasonal blooms fill the landscape with color, from azaleas and camellias to wildflowers and magnolias. Guests can explore meandering walking trails, cross charming stone bridges, and discover quiet corners filled with native plants. There's a peaceful reflecting pool at the base of the tower, and plenty of shaded spots to pause and simply take it all in. For families, the Hammock Hollow Children's Garden is a highlight, offering interactive play areas, water features, and learning stations that teach kids about nature in fun and creative ways. Nearby, the Endangered Plant Garden showcases species that are rare or at risk in Florida and beyond. The gardens also house the historic Pinewood Estate, a 1930s Mediterranean-style home open for guided tours during certain seasons. There's a visitor center with exhibits, a cafe overlooking the landscape, and a beautiful gift shop filled with books, seeds, and Florida-made art. Seasonal events include carillon concerts, birding walks, and holiday celebrations. Every path, plant, and program here is designed to slow you down, help you breathe, and reconnect with something deeper. Floridians have cared for this place for nearly a century. Volunteers, botanists, musicians, and families have kept Bok's original vision alive. And today, Bok Tower Gardens stands not just as a historic site, but as one of Florida's most emotionally moving experiences. Have you ever walked the trails of Bok Tower Gardens or heard its bells ring out across the hills? Which part spoke to you most, the music, the gardens, or the peaceful silence? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your story. Number 3. The Fountain of Youth. In the heart of St. Augustine, Florida, there's a place where history, myth, and imagination blend into one. It's called the Fountain of Youth Archaeological Park, and for generations, it has captured the curiosity of travelers from all over the world. The legend behind the name goes back to the early 1500s, when explorers told stories of a magical spring hidden somewhere in the New World. The water, they claimed, could restore youth and health to anyone who drank it. Over time, this tale became linked with Pon DeLeon, the Spanish explorer who arrived on Florida's shores in 1513. Some say he came searching for this very spring. Whether he believed in the myth or not, the story lived on, and it's part of what makes this place so special today. At the heart of the park is the Spring House, where visitors can drink from the very same natural spring that sparked the legend. It's a quiet, simple building, but the experience of sipping the water while thinking about centuries of hope and storytelling gives it something magical. Whether it works or not, it makes you smile. But the park offers far more than just a sip of spring water. It's a full outdoor museum covering over 15 acres along the Matanzas River. One of the most engaging features is the Timuchua village, a detailed reconstruction of the homes and culture of the indigenous people who lived here long before the Spanish arrived. You can walk among their huts, see traditional tools, and get a sense of how they lived. There's also the first mission of Nombre de Dios, a tribute to Florida's early religious and colonial history. Visitors can explore exhibits, see live demonstrations by blacksmiths and reenactors, and even witness real cannon firings throughout the day. The park also features a planetarium and a massive discovery globe, a two-story model that shows how early explorers navigated the oceans and mapped the world. For those who love views, there's an observation tower with panoramic sights of the surrounding coastline. Peacocks roam freely across the grounds, adding color and charm to the walkways. Families enjoy the Founders River Walk, shaded paths, and open green spaces. It's an experience that feels both educational and relaxing. What makes the Fountain of Youth so special is not just the legend, it's the way Floridians have brought that legend to life. The park is clean, welcoming, and thoughtfully designed. Locals support it through volunteering, events, and storytelling that keeps the magic going. It's a place where history feels alive and where every visitor, young or old, gets to take part in something timeless. Have you ever walked through the Fountain of Youth Archaeological Park? Did the spring surprise you, or did something else capture your attention? The cannon, the peacocks, the stories? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear what moments stayed with you most from this unforgettable piece of Florida. Number 2. Ybor City Streetcars. In the heart of Tampa, Florida, there's a piece of history that still rolls along the streets, bright, charming, and full of character. It's the Ybor City Streetcar system, one of the most unique ways to explore the city. These vintage-style streetcars don't just carry passengers, they carry stories from the past into the present. The streetcars are part of a legacy that goes back to the early 1900s, when Tampa was booming with cigar factories, immigrants, and electric streetcars that connected neighborhoods. Back then, streetcars were the main way people got around the city. They linked downtown Tampa with the bustling district of Ybor City, a vibrant community built by Cuban, Spanish, and Italian workers. As cars became more common, the original streetcar lines disappeared, but the spirit of the system was never forgotten. In the early 2000s, the city brought it back, restored, redesigned, and ready for a new generation. Today, the Teco Line streetcar system connects Ybor City, downtown Tampa, and the Channel District, offering locals and visitors a charming way to experience the city. The streetcars are free to ride, thanks to public support and funding from the city. Each car is built to look like its historic predecessors, with wooden seats, brass handrails, and open windows that let in the Florida breeze. It feels like stepping into a moving time capsule, but with all the safety and accessibility of modern transit. The line covers 2.7 miles with over 10 stations. You can hop on in Ybor City, glide past restaurants, bars, and historic storefronts, and arrive in downtown near museums, parks, and waterfront attractions. The streetcar also connects to Amalie Arena, home of the Tampa Bay Lightning, making it a popular choice on game nights and concert evenings. What makes this system special isn't just the route, it's the feeling. Locals use it to commute, tourists use it to explore, and everyone shares a smile when the bell rings and the car slides forward with a gentle hum. It's a piece of old Florida that still serves a very modern purpose. Floridians have every reason to be proud of what they've preserved here. The streetcar system is efficient, clean, and beautifully maintained. Volunteers and transit workers help keep it running smoothly every day. And with support from the community, Tampa is proving that honoring the past doesn't mean standing still. It means moving forward with style. Now it's time to find out the correct answer to the quiz. In which Florida city stands the Tower of Freedom? A. Tampa. B. Miami. C. Orlando. D. Jacksonville. The correct answer is B. Miami. Number 1. Freedom Tower. In the center of downtown Miami, there stands a tower that looks like it belongs to another time. With its Mediterranean Revival architecture, arched windows, and warm yellow stone, the Freedom Tower rises gracefully into the Florida sky. Built in 1925 as the home of the Miami News, it was one of the first skyscrapers in the city. Its slender silhouette and decorative cupola made it a symbol of growth and modern ambition. For decades, the tower watched Miami evolve, But in the 1960s, it became something far greater than a newspaper office. It became a place where lives were rebuilt and futures were rewritten. After the Cuban Revolution, thousands of families fled the island, escaping repression and uncertainty. They arrived in South Florida with almost nothing: no homes, no documents, no clear path forward. But what they found in this building was something priceless: help, dignity, and hope. The US government used the tower as a refugee assistance center for Cuban exiles. People received food, clothing, medical care, and the paperwork needed to begin again. It was here that many of them took their first steps on American soil, not as tourists, but as survivors starting new lives. That's how this place earned its second name, the Ellis Island of the South, and Florida responded with extraordinary compassion. Churches, volunteers, and everyday citizens stepped up to help. Floridians welcomed the refugees with open hearts. They shared their communities and helped write a new chapter of Florida's story. The Freedom Tower became not just a building, but a beacon. One of the many families who found a new beginning in Florida was that of Marco Rubio. His parents had left Cuba years earlier, hoping to build a better future in the United States. He was born in Miami in 1971 and raised by working-class parents who believed deeply in the promise of America. In the years that followed, he served as a U.S. Senator representing Florida. Today, he serves as the U.S. Secretary of State. His journey from the child of immigrants to one of the country's top leaders began with the kind of hope that was welcomed and protected in buildings like the Freedom Tower. Today, it's no longer a processing center, but its legacy is alive. The tower now serves as a museum and cultural space dedicated to telling the story of Cuban Americans and the immigrant experience in Florida. Inside, visitors walk through exhibits that explore exile, identity, and the meaning of freedom. The building is also part of Miami-Dade College, helping connect students with the past that shaped their city. Have you ever seen the Freedom Tower in person? What do you think it stands for today? History, resilience, or a second chance? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear what this landmark means to you or your family. Thank you for exploring the hidden corners of Florida with us. Click on the video you see on the screen to check out other hidden discoveries on our channel.